Alright, in this video, we're doing Kurita. And I set up the colors ahead of time so that I know what I want my theme to look like. So I'm just going to pick one of these guys at random out of the box. And we've got a dragon here. And what I'm going to do is, this is the primary color is red. Now, officially, the secondary color is gray, but I just did gray on the steer, and I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to pick yellow. And so, in my coloring system, I number these 1 through 3 or 4, sometimes 5, from darkest up to lightest. And so I'm picking 2 and 3. This 2 is going to be my dark undercoat, and my 3 is going to be my upper coat. I'm only using 2 shades. You usually do 3 colors up, which is where you get the same 3 colors up. But we're not getting that intense. These are not hero characters. I don't have to get super intense. But what my base yellow secondary color is going to be is a folk art moon yellow, which is a number 2. And then number 3 is going to be an apple barrel banana, real nice bright yellow, you know. And this is the hazard yellow from Battletech, and it's very similar, compares very similar. So for my cockpit, I'm going to do green cockpits on these red guys because I think that's going to look pretty nice. And so my base coat for that is this number 3 is going to be apple barrel Kelly green. And for my upper coat, I'm going to use apple barrel green apple for that, which is number 5 on my list. Now, with their weapons, I'm going to paint all the weapons gold. So my base coat of gold is going to be this Citadel, oh, I can barely read that, burnished gold here. Now, I usually use Aztec gold, but I can't find my Aztec gold, which is like a folk art color. And then my secondary color is going to be this. Oh, this is Inca gold. So this is the Inca gold. My other one is going to be like, I would say antique gold. It's a dark gold, but I don't know off the top of my head. But this is very close. This is a little lighter than the gold I'm thinking of. But it's going to have to work until I get another gold. I'd probably hit it for myself like, ooh, man, this is really nice. I'm going to hang on to this color. And if I get a wild hair on my butt, I have this glamour gold here, which is like a spectral laser print kind of gold. But I'm really hesitant to use this on a model that I haven't tested. I haven't tested this, so I don't know if I want to start now. So I'm gonna turn my, whenever you use your palette, when you go to, like, see, I have this in here from the Steiner video. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate this so this one is the closest one to me, so that when I put the new color in, I'm not going to accidentally hit this. If I leave it like this and I put my next color here or here, I'm ultimately going to hit that blue on accident because it's the closest one to me. So with my new color, I'm going to rotate this. I'm going to put it here. And then when I get a new color, I'm going to rotate it again, and I'm going to put the third color in here. And then with the fourth color, I'm going to put it here and rotate into here. That way, I'm always hitting the closest one to me. So, what am I going to do first? I think I am going to set this aside, and I'm going to use the gold. I want to paint the weapons, and let me tighten this in. We're going to get a nice tight. Boop. That's pretty centered right there. I'm going to lower my, what kind of brush do I want to use? That's my super fine point brush. I want, what do I have here? There's a 5.0. What are these? This is a 10. These are both 10 zeros. So these are low Cornell. And I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this one. And I'm starting with a dragon, apparently. We'll see how well these paints do. They're pretty old. I opened a couple of these paints and they were so bad. Oh my gosh. They were like leather. They had dried up so much on these Citadel paints. Now my apple barrels are like 10, 15 years old. You just pop a little water in them, and back up they come. You know. I'm not exactly sure how much gold I want on this. Okay. Next. This cannon ought to be a lot easier to do. There's not much to it. They always got these guys with their hands to their sides, so you can't really get in next to their, between their legs without hitting their legs. I did manage to do it though. So there's that guy. He's done with that layer of gold. We'll set him aside. We'll get to the next guy, which is a Jenner. And we're gonna paint his guns. I'm also gonna paint whatever this little nubbin is here. It's probably some kind of sensor array or something. That's what I would think it is. Now the new Jenner design is supposed to be pretty good. I mean, I kind of hated on this design when I was going through them earlier. I mean, it's okay. I mean, you know, they got this thing called the Urban Mech, and they call it the Irby, and they call it the most terrible mech in the game. And it looks way cooler than this thing. You know, but, you know. Apparently these guys are in the game. I'm trying to get this thing centered. In the game, these things are supposed to be really good. So, that's cool. I hate how this lid like keeps falling closed more and more and more, making it more difficult for me to get it. Okay. All right, there we go. And Jenner is done with that stage. Man, the stupid lid. And see, it's like, bloop, it keeps falling down. It's like, I know I only open you once every 2 years or so, but come on, man. Cut me some slack. Alright, what's the next guy here? This is a Panther. Okay, we just got a gun on the side here. What we gotta do. I've already put a little extra gold on this guy that I did not want to do. Of course, that gold looks great up against that red. It's too bad that that's not what we're doing. A little bit more underneath there. Boom, right there. Okay. Is there any place else I want to put some gold? Not really. This guy kind of has like a wolf head. I guess it's supposed to be a panther head. But, I mean, we can hear that's like a... It looks like a skull, really, like an animal skull. Which is kind of weird, but... Alright, here we go. What's next? What's the next? A quick draw! Quick draw! Hiya! Hiya! Now, I did look over these guys real quick beforehand, so I could kind of get a feel for where I wanted what color to be, and not just coming to it not knowing what I want to do. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not blocking your guys' view as well as my own. Okay. Just a couple of those. He's got some rocket launchers right here and some lasers right there and some more right there. This guy's like stacked with stuff. I think I'm going to hit these right here. Just because I can. Give them a little more depth. Okay, there we go. There's that guy. Okay, now we're moving on to the nice figures. Oh, the modern stuff here. We've got Atlas. And he has basically got a couple things here and there. Not much. Once again, he has some pistols here. Some wrist rockets. Dang it, this paint is not great. And this stuff is okay when it's new. And the good thing about Citadel paints is the pigment count. Like, the great thing about apple barrels is it's a really great general overall, all around paints. But their pigment concentration is not the best. You know, and Citadel is supposed to have really good pigment concentration. But Citadel wants you buying shit from them all the fucking time. So they paint frickin' expires. Alright, what's next? I'm not bagging on Citadel. I'm not saying anything. It's just a British company. Okay. Let's see. Anything else that I want to do? These little droopy parts here, those would look kind of cool. It would really make him look very, how do you say, Space Marine-y. I wonder if I should do his skull face in gold. I don't know if I got the skill for all that. We'll set him aside for now. Who's the next? This guy's a Wolverine. Standard dude. But modern. And we can go full. We can go real quick on this guy because we can see exactly where the paint goes. Get the inside of the gun. I gotta scoot higher and higher in this paint because I haven't shaken it. Hiya, 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 hiya! Alright, what's next? Do I want to do anything else in gold? Oh, I gotta get that little scope as raw. There we go. There we go. Now we don't want to go to the next level up of gold because all our gold is wet. So we want to set these guys back, and I'm going to put this color up, and we'll move to a different color, which is most likely going to be this here yellow, because I want to give that gold a chance to dry. Oh man, that Jenner is looking really fantastic with that gold on it. That gold is drying like darker than I expected, and it's like, wow, that looks good. All right, flusher. Flushing the brush, flushing the brush. I kind of shook these ahead of time here. All right, and we're using Moon Yellow from Folk Art. And now I haven't really planned ahead as to what segments are getting this here yellow. Oh, look at that. Oh, it looks like golden mustard. Ooh, that is a nice bright. Look how bright that. I don't know if this is catching on the camera how bright and dark at the same time that yellow is. That's a fantastic. That looks like banana yellow, really. It's more of a Cavendish banana, not a big. It's more of a big Mick banana. Excuse me. All right, so we'll start with the Jenner here. Start with the Jenner. Let's tighten it up. Tighten in. Tighten in. Let me lower this magnifier. And where do we want some yaller? Well, let me get a little bit of water on here. And realistically, you just want a little bit. You want enough water. You don't want to water your paint down a bunch. You want the reason why you want water is so you don't get brush marks. Brush marks are not your friend. So you want to... Oh, it's a little too watery. Oh, God. Ah, you fucked it up. And it's not too bad. It won't be too bad. All right, what kind of other yellow play? I don't want to do a bunch of yellow. I just want to do some yellow. Just enough to make it look interesting. So, we are... And I'm using a 10-1 brush here. I don't know if that's what I used before. I'm not paying attention. But that's what I'm using. And we're gonna go... See, now you can see the brush marks on it. You can see the brush marks because I didn't water it down. But that's okay. So we're going to go over this with another yellow later. it will hide a bunch of sins. Alright, I'm gonna make this little circle yellow. How about that? I am going to make this little circle right here yellow. You guys can see that. And on the back side here, I'm gonna make this little part yellow here. This guy is like all leg. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you don't have any arms, but I guess it is what it is. I'm gonna make a little bit of yellow right here. And what we're doing, we're just wanna break it up a little bit, you know? Like, doggone, you don't want them all red and like all your guys are just blindly marching along. Boring. Okay, next I'm gonna do the panther. Alright, next. Okay, so this knee pad. This knee pad is really sticking out to me. So I'm gonna hit it. Because it's kind of like, you know, if this mech has fallen or something and been replaced, it would look like, you know, his knee would have gotten messed up at some point. Okay. And I'm going to do this shoulder here, but I'm going to do his abdomen as well. I'm going to do his abdomen right there. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Remember, let the model do your work. Let the model do the work. The sculptors got paid a lot of money to sculpt these guys. And they, you know, they got paid to do this. So they've done all the detail work for you. All you have to do is go in and highlight their work. And I'm going to get the top of it. Just like that. There we go. Alright. This guy has a pretty interesting back. He's got 3 little nubs on the back. He's got some little things going on. I probably should have painted those gold. He does have a little butt pack. So I will paint that yellow. Oh, dear. Boom. Okay. And that's enough yellow for that guy. Right there. Gently put him down. Next guy we got is, what is this, a dragon? And this little spot right here is asking to be painted. Boom. And this spot right here looks like it wants to be painted. Very easy. Very easy to get to. Oh, I see a mold line. Oh, well. I mean, these guys have mold lines, but they're real. It's not like the old days when, like, the mold line was, like, real obvious because they had, like, printed out, like, a zillion dudes and the mold was, just completely worn out. It's not really that bad. These, you know, these guys aren't that old. They haven't been reprinted that often. Limited runs, you know, things of that nature. Okay, so there's 2 heat sinks right here. And I may get those later, you know, not today and not this painting session. You know, if this guy becomes a hero in my campaign, and he like wins the day over and over or something, I may give him a some extra love, you know. But we're just starting out this game. And what you do is you give everybody a basic paint job, and then when they earn it, you give them extra love. So, boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. What do I want to do next? I think, okay, so this is not the cockpit. So, I am going to give one. Let me move him in the frame a little bit better. I'm going to give him one stripe on that side, and then one stripe on this side. I need some more paint on the tip of my brush. A little bit. Can you guys see him? Yeah, you can see him. And then the priority I'm using to paint these panels is completely random. Okay. Yeah, that looks cool. That looks pretty cool. Looks like what they see in the book, which is what I'm going by, is like, you know, what do they do in the book? Now you see, this one over here is painted, but I didn't get the backside. But it's like the stupid arm is in the way, and I don't want to get in there with that. I don't want to get in there with that. You can already see where I bled over the gold. And, it's annoying. You can also see that this yellow has dried. And it is not as nice. Not as nice. Not as nice. I am gonna paint this whole panel yellow. You see when I put it on a corner, it starts shaking, so I need to put it on a flat spot. It's much more stable. And I got it on a flat spot. And I can put some downward pressure on it. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to overdo this and make him look stupid. You know, like this may have been a bridge too far. It may have been a bridge too far to do that, because now it looks like he's one of those old 70s socks, and one of them is pulled down slower than the other one. But I mean, we're gonna overlook it. These are really begging to be painted right here. And I'm going to have to do one. I have to do at least one. I have to do at least one because it's going to look like I was a chicken if I didn't. Like, oh, he's not going to look right. He's not going to look symmetrical. Oh, that's not too bad. It's not as bad as I thought. This is actually easier. Ah, I said that